What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports, back again with another one. Just ran across a Fight Hype interview featuring Romero, top 10 lightweights, one of the biggest trolls in boxing. He talked bad about #1 pound-for-pound fight on my list, Terrence Crawford. Talked about his looks and said that he couldn't sell one pay-per-view. Basically dismissed his fight with Errol Spence Jr., saying that he should instead take his place and take on Errol Spence Jr. He also answered a question about a fan in regards to a matchup between himself and Adrien the Problem Broner. He said that fight would be for the fans. The fans would love that fight. So that could be a very interesting fight for the first quarter of 2023. Now, Broner has a fight lined up with Figueroa. That's a 50-50 fight. You got a guy in Broner that don't let his hands go. There's been criticism throughout his career as a fighter that does not want to let his hands go because he's worried about what's coming back. Omar Figueroa, who is not as skilled or as talented as Adrien Broner, but a guy that throws punches in bunches, throws a lot of punches per round. So this fight's going to come down to beauty is in the eye of the beholder. What a particular judge like. He likes a guy that landing the more effective punches. He might tend to go with Adrien Broner if it goes 12 rounds. But if you got a judge that likes the aggressive fighter, the guy that's bringing the fight, he might favor Omar Figueroa. So he's in a real true 50-50 fight. But Adrien Broner is the Teflon man. Losses do not hurt him, do not hurt his statue. He seems to always be able to win, lose, or draw, get another big fight, another high-profile fight. And I believe that Romero is going down that same road as the loss to Gervonta Tank Davis, where he got knocked the fuck out. Seems to not hurt his statue in boxing, as he's looking to have another fight before the end of the year. And Steven Espinosa came to his dressing room after the Davis loss and said that they want to put him on at the end of the year, and he did a good job in the fight with Davis. Put on a good performance, gave Gervonta Tank Davis a tougher fight than anyone expected, and they're going to be looking to put him on at the end of 2022. If he can get him a win in that fight, that will set the stage for a Romero versus Adrien Broner fight in the first quarter of 2023. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised if the PBC try to put that fight on pay-per-view. But both guys like to talk. Both guys are great salesmen. The press conference would be epic, and that would be a fight that, especially with the purse demand of Adrien Broner and Romero after the Davis fight, he probably thinking he should be $1 million fighter now. They probably would have to put that fight on pay-per-view. So we will see what happens. We will see what transpires. It's a Showtime fight now, don't get me wrong, but wouldn't be a bit surprised. If you put Luis Ortiz and Charles Martin on pay-per-view, and a lot of people complaining about Deontay Wilder and Robert Elenius on pay-per-view, don't be a bit surprised you see Adrien Broner versus Romero, two of the biggest trash talkers, two of the biggest personalities in the sport of boxing. The PBC puts that fight on pay-per-view. We will see what happens, and we will see what transpires, but this guy here on this video was drunk as a skunk, Romero. He had a few too many. He went in on Terrence Crawford, dismissed him, saying he couldn't sell a pay-per-view, talked about how he looked, and basically reaffirmed his desire to take on Errol Spence Jr. That ain't nothing but a pipe dream. But the fight with Adrien Broner, I can see that happening. I can see that transpiring, and that would be a very, very entertaining fight. I don't know if the fight will live up to the pre-fight build-up, but it'll be a very, very, very interesting event. Those two charismatic fighters. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. I just want to let you guys know what I seen on the video involving Romero, or the artist formerly known as Rolly, which is on his Instagram page or the Twitter page, whatever page it is, whatever's on there. I believe that's on his Twitter page. I don't know if that video he did on FightHype.com was on his Instagram page or on his Twitter page. I don't know, but it was a very, very entertaining video. And the Teflon man, Romero, seems to keep himself in the public eye and keep himself relevant in the sport of boxing. Follow me on Facebook, Gerard.Briscoe.3551. Like, share, and subscribe to JB Sports. The man, the myth, the legend. And I holla.